Hello, my name is True Brooks, and today my speech will be about mental health days for students. Now, let me give you a point of view. Imagine having to wake up every day. You're not feeling yourself. You have to get up, get out of bed, go to school, which you're not feeling. You're out of it. You feel like you're not really engaged with going to school. You're getting picked on. That could be the scenario. Or you're failing school because you don't have the motivation because the teachers are not putting the effort to help you. You're discouraged. And this is an ongoing cycle and you don't get a break. You're in school 5 days a week, and 9 times out of 10, if you're a high school student, you're studying those 2 days on your weekend. That Saturday and Sunday, you're studying. There's no balance. You're dealing with your social life between your friends. You know, friends come and go amongst teenagers. We already know that. So it's just an ongoing cycle for these teenagers. I'm here today to explain to you guys why these kids deserve a mental health break, one or 2 days of the semester, incorporate it into these district policies for these high school students especially, but also for those middle school students so they can get a mental break when it's needed. Making sure that these students have a mental health day can change a lot. These can support them mentally, physically, and make sure that they have a supportive system around them. This is going to get them going. And not only is this going to help them grow in school, but this is going to keep them at a steady rate for them to be happy with themselves mentally, physically, and accomplish things that they want to accomplish outside of just being so tied into school. Because school is very important, but that can't deteriorate these kids' mental health. As me being a college student myself, who has been under academic pressure, I can advocate for these teenagers, and I can say that it is overwhelming, and sometimes I don't make time for myself. It is very important to have a balance between school and your mental health, because if you don't, then it's going to start deteriorating your mental. And it's so many responsibilities, and it's not just junior high, it's high school as well. They both fluctuate with so much going on, and that's why us adults have to advocate for these students. I feel like it's super important. The first thing that I want to explain is about how the mental health crisis amongst these grade school students is affecting their academics, because I feel like that is super important. I feel like, personally, when I did research, that if these kids have mental health days, this will help reduce dropouts in school. This will help graduation rates to go up. This will help suicide rates to go down because they're able to take that time for themselves and to learn themselves. And I feel like that's an important factor. According to CDC, they said nearly 37% of high school students reported poor mental health, which I have here. It is a document from CDC themselves explaining to you guys that 37%, especially during COVID time, experienced that they didn't have a good mental health during COVID. And it's only gotten worse because there's still teenagers trying to find themselves since COVID. Even though COVID has been over 3 years, it's still a stepstone. It's been like over 4 years, a stepstone for them to find themselves, because it was a huge pandemic change with being virtually on school online and to going back to in person. It made a lot of introverts, which it's a good and a bad thing. They said that suicide is also the second leading cause of death in the United States amongst these teenagers, which we can change that if we all come together and we try to make a difference in these teenagers' lives and save them while we can. Give them that day or two out the semester for them to rejuvenate, and they can look forward to that so they can take a mental step back from reality. And I know it's a lot of people that's going to say, well, when you're an adult, you don't get that step back from reality. It's all about how you control your life. And when you need that mental break, and you have to find a way to take it for yourself, no matter what age you are. I think it starts, if we help them start young, it'll help them when they get older so they can know, I can take a mental break for myself. They're going to know it's more responsibilities, but they can still take a mental break for themselves. Them having so much stress, and it can get really intense on their mental from school, making sure that they have assignments due at 11:59, 12 in the morning. They have to make sure they have a paper due. The anxiety that they get from that, I feel like, affects them. And it has an impact on these students, which is also causing the stress, and it's affecting their mental health. If we don't nip the situation into the bud, this is going to start affecting the graduation rates that we want to go up. This is going to affect them trying to get ready for the workforce and their emotional health for the entire generation. It's going to start fluctuating low. The solution that I have for this whole situation, I feel like emphasizing these mental health days to the district, you can go to the school policies to help them advocate for these students. This maybe 1 or 2 absences per semester made specifically just for those mental health days, this can help them rejuvenate. And I feel like it's super important. The school should start sending home notes and extra help counseling to these parents so the parents can help these students out as well on their end. But notes letting them know for the parents to read over to provide the resources that these kids need, because it's not just at home. Sometimes it takes a village to keep these kids going. And I truly feel like that with myself. It took a village to help me. And if the parents, the teachers, the principals, the district all come together, we could make graduation rates go higher. It just starts with our village, you know? So there are states that are already taking this, like they're implementing this into their district. There's Oregon and Utah who are already allowing these teenagers to get mental health days. And there's data that shows that when they do get those mental health days, it's helping their mental health go up. They're seeing graduation rates go up. It's already scientifically proven. There are some that will argue that there's kids that are going to take advantage of this. But I feel like if we implement this and this is something that is normal to them, it's not going to be something that's taken advantage of because they know specifically that it's for mental health. You're going to have those kids that's going to take advantage of it. But if we implement this, we'd rather have it 80-20, 90-10 than 50-50. 50-40, you know? So we want to see it better for these kids to know that they have that space, because every kid needs a mental health day, no matter how they feel like they don't. Like I said, imagine having to wake up and feel like they can't take care of their mental health and they're just on the go with school and they're pressured for graduation. They feel like they have to engage more with school than their family, and it breaks them down. And a lot of parents notice this shift in their students because they're upset. And we have to change that. I encourage you to advocate for mental health days at your local schools for your kids around your area. You can even go to your school board, the teachers, the principals, and make this an idea. Make sure that the students have a mental health day. Not only is mental health just as important as physical health, but we have to make sure our school systems reflect the supporting students' journey to make them better. And each statement it was CDC 2022, I had the National Institute of Mental Health 2021, Smith J 2023, and the American Psychology Association 2022. I hope we can make a difference for these kids, and if we all come together, we can make it happen. Thank you for listening to my speech.